go for
drifting on top of generator.
they go for the Reina against G2, who have kind of historically not brought out ops.
So he's got to make up for it in other ways by playing
because they kind of don't have an agent or a duelist that would make sense to have an op.
Off guard by playing in spots they don't expect.
Yeah, we'll see. We've got G2 on defense, we've got C9 on attack, and we've got Oxy on Reina in thing.
Trying to be just on the high ground here.
Yeah, the flashes are strong for Overwhelm. We've got a shock to break any.
Seeking to deny the plant. Or slow though, but a lot of noise being made, especially with that drone. It kind of orchestrates it. There's a heavy rotation by G2 into mid.
It's kind of weird actually. They're droning. I would assume that. Yeah, Vanity's kept the fuel actually really quite nice here.
And they want to fight forwards. Yep. Applying that pressure now towards all of these players, but no easy targets. At least there is.
They were not expecting them to send it all the way back site.
Lining up the screen, and the backfight position is going to be 4-4. One out by G2, but they still have to worry about his one player. Rooney tucked towards danger, and Oxy has this crossfire, but he is spotted. Valin tapped out with the classic, just quite missing. Oxy though. Dropped to 34. Help!
What a shot.
I see. Diffuse was coming online. Need to be broken in the fight.
That's what hit. Towards the back anyway. Okay, first pistol for C9. 2-1 altogether.
Nice stuff from Cloud9, showing us a range of ideas there.
Yeah, I mean,
very effectively.
When was the last time we actually saw
as they cross over the yellow?
Anyone take Snowman without a KO flash,
so that then they keep fuel to be able to
or Harbor,
and then still get forwards to Snowman.
Was it Trent the first one to die? He did not expect it at all. Not Essence. Thank you very much, man.
And giving yourself the timings you need to set up.
Ardis, how we doing? What's my sleep pattern? I slept for 3 hours before this, and last night I slept for 4 hours after Americas. But together, it's kind of like we're getting the right amount. Not at just not at the same time. I get a normal sleep today though, so that's kind of sick.
I felt like both teams definitely put,
Shower Natty, thank you so much. Thank you with the gifted as well.
On the defensive side to that map, but here on Icebox, definitely looks like Cloud9 have some very cool ideas. Although Zephyr,
that's not one of them.
Overextends, yeah, and that might be handing over a slight gun. Not too sure if he did have one of the weapons in his hands or not. Oxy, given any free sight lines of any free kills here.
There's no way you got banned from Ardis's chat, and you're not banned from my chat.
Actually does cut away a lot of the common angles he would be trying to play for, and Oxy can't really spam with this one. Still with the Guardian, we'll get it along with the dismiss. Icy just tapping away at the defuse, trying to pull that util out of them. Tapping away with the rifles, finally getting the job done.
Okay, some nice players getting the ults as well. The Rooney close to his ult. A little bit of damage done for sure for the G2. They should be happy with that one.
And C9, they look like they want to brawl. In these post plants, they're not going to play super disciplined, sat back.
Hello, Pansy as well. Hello, hello.
What's the reason to? It wouldn't really play into the Reina pick. So instead, what a shot. Instead, they're going to be playing these aggressive spots. They're going to be trying to put pressure on G2. And I think the way that G2's composition works...
Wait, Ardis, do you have mobs?
G2 would like them
or do you just let them run rampant?
If you're playing a very passive post plant, then suddenly...
You have mobs?
Damn, dude.
That's a crazy job for your chat.
Zephyr's one away from getting thrashed.
Exactly. Snowball's starting to accrue. Up and about now. How's the thrash?
They let like 90% of things slides. I mean, yeah, otherwise you'd be a giant hypocrite.
Almost there from Moose.
Because you're saying, you're probably saying the 10% that would get them banned as well.
Just about missing.
Could have been a good timing there to try to go for the exec. You know that there was 2-3 players over towards mid. Zephyr may choose to use this thrash. What a shot! Opens it up.
And not going to be peeking that again without any
C9 had not made a whisper over towards green.
Yeah. Just intrinsically.
Yeah, so they insert one over towards B and they fish all through mid.
Yeah, right through mid to clear it out. It is a cool idea, just in case there were players just trying to
they clear all of this.
Back in terms of the position. Plants online for them too, so Cloud9, it's a great idea for their bonus round.
They pinch back a site with players and a fish. It's pretty sick. It's kind of like how people use the server drone sometimes in 4-1s.
They can play with the mid players, right? Spamming. Not too much danger there.
They've been doing good at insta breaking the cove. Maybe Leaf. I don't think there was any util, but maybe Leaf should have gone for that.
Really
try to get half.
Collected, I think, into this moment with these shots, but yeah, the mid players can finally apply that pressure. The damage done in the kill. Time ran away from them. This is G2 that are going to be falling short.
Very nice
of the
round from
mark.
C9. Love what I saw.
Cloud9, though, beautiful work, honestly.
Yeah, it was a cool round.
They've put a lot of time into this. You can see why they've gone for this as their map
Dude
pick
uses
in this
official
series.
and he's already 3 out of 7.
Looking at the other side, G2's Icebox, they were winning in Americas. This composition looked pretty good for
Pixel.
them.
Pixel, thank you so much for the gifted
No
as well.
duelist kind of look.
Thank you for doing that.
But when they came over to play this at Masters, they didn't really find any value. They were getting... Actually, I mean, against some teams, they got toasted. They lost 13-1
nice idea.
to T1.
Nice shots.
Yeah.
And that was a team that was just looking to try to take fights, challenge them aggressively. That's exactly
Speaking
what
of
C9 are
official,
gonna do
we've got
today.
Icy with his, but they're on eco, so only if they get a
Plays to the
couple of
strengths of his
kills.
team.
They are...
Again, look at the disrespect. I mean, again, using the lead across, forwards, and past.
Bro, Oxy's getting a lot of
I think
fast
their match, in
kills.
terms of the players there, Valen does get the one and still
bang.
staying alive, but drone should clear him out of the position. He's got reinforcements with Trent, but the guns aren't really there. Still taking the swing. Attempted to fight. Again, doesn't have a rifle, only the Stinger. Cove to evacuate. And even pushes back up. This is unexpected. With the Cascade. He's going for it, man. He's just swinging. They're holding.
I mean, I respect it when
There's
you're
a little
an
bit of
eco round
damage.
like this, but I think C9 should still be able to handle what's being thrown at them.
Rooney's low. It is actually doable for G2.
Plan's finally there. Onside the Dizzy. You can't be letting this one slip, though. They're being plucked apart, man. At the seams.
Yeah, no mollies
Left
as
it
well.
Just down to Moose now. Doesn't matter about the lack of weaponry because they got the man advantage. Spraying it through almost there with the
Wow,
finally,
dude,
the bullets
the
landing.
confidence of
Moose
him there.
cleans it. Got very dangerous for a second. Certainly did.
I can't believe he went for the
It's a big
insta
one
swing
from
after he
Moose
got
with the Red Bull
scanned.
clutch. That would have been a bad one for C9 to let slip. Had G2 with only 2 players left, Leaf and Trent, finding kills in spots where they're at long range with the Stinger jiggle peeking. It did not feel like they should have been favored. But there's so many angles that they could swing from. I think they caught the Cloud9 players a little off guard. Heading into another rifle round, that damage is going to keep the economy somewhat honest for C9, but it's still heading a little bit out of
well.
control.
Yeah, they get a bit scared of being able to try get this.
You know, he had the thrash on the bonus. Now he's gonna have to thrash on the
Everyone
first
clears so
rifle
they can
round.
pick up the Dizzy.
When you just get these wins on the
And
attack
we're gonna have
side.
official
Plan
again with this
constantly
ult
getting
that's
the
here.
ults constantly.
You snowball
Want to
out of
make sure that
control,
no
yeah,
one's
and this
trying to
might be
punish
another
it, so they
example of
draw
that.
close.
This is very similar. G2 triple pushing down mid.
Hunter's Fury. This is being used. Catching the backside player. 1 tag, 2 tags, enough
And
to
kill,
get
man, onto the
at least the
Viper.
kill. Jonah P drops down now, forced to take the spectator seat.
And then keep getting the
G2
first
now
kills.
also left to simmer. Look at this pause. Just being inserted into the round by Cloud9. They're going to be waiting out the high tide. It fades away, waiting for the Viper fuel back online. So as soon as the wall's back up, now you see
Two of the most
plan come
disciplined, fundamentally sound
down,
teams
though.
for them
Maybe
to
just try
resolve.
and
Why they're
find
not
them.
one of my favorite
Catching
teams as a
G2 potentially
coach.
when they were setting up, and yeah, not aware.
I mean,
Vanity already pressed up, taking all that
I
space.
think I didn't like their
It's
map
an ult
pool
wasted.
before. Like, I hated their bind for a little bit. That was
Still
like a big
lands it.
reason why I didn't like
We've got
them.
to be careful not to toss this one away. Previous round
Not
got
that I
very
didn't like
close.
them, but
Except takes a challenge against Valent.
bind was awful.
Valent throws his life away.
If Leaf won that, maybe there was a chance and a possibility, but
Yeah, maybe.
at this point, 1v3, Vanity or Valen got to be thinking about giving this one up. Oxy on the hunt. He knows that the money's running short pre-fire.
it was a mix of their bind being
Footsteps,
awful
Valent.
and Icy not
Gotta
really
stay alive in the
fragging
spot.
that heavy until
Yeah,
playoffs
I mean, the kills are valuable to some degree because it's going to keep C9
and Shanghai.
a little honest, but to be honest, the economy's going to be
When was their bind awful
fairly
this
heavily
year?
out of
Yeah, when they were
control
running
there.
solo
As
Euro.
close as map 1 was. Uneven halves for sure, but very close between the two teams, both excelling on defense, struggling on attack, looking like they had good game plans. I mean, this map looks like G2 are
Paper X
getting
on bind?
outclassed.
Yeah, when they switched to
C9 have got
Raze.
great change-ups of tempo, good ideas. They're playing aggressively on site, and G2 can't figure out where they are. I mean, look, there's no way that Icy expected Vanity to be in that kind of position.
Yeah, even the side take there, I mean, the wall goes up, the plan goes down, and just baiting presence from G2 over B main.
It's kind of difficult to fight over B main though when you have a no duelist composition.
Yeah, and you're up against the Reyna.
You could do some
Gecko.
re-clear, yeah, you could do some re-clear fighting if you had Kale Gecko, but with one Dizzy, are you going to be able to really put a lot of pressure onto the B main players?
Very true.
It's a hard ask.
It is. I think their comp is a little behind the times, and I think that was demonstrated at Masters Shanghai. And it's not that it's terrible.
Okay, change
it's
up.
Not that you can't win with it.
4-1 over towards A. This time they're going to try get a bit more aggro over towards A. The orb is free
Incredible regular season
if they wanted it for Leaf.
They've got all the room in the world to experiment. They probably need maybe another one on the board, one match win to be able to just solidify their spot in playoffs. And then it's all just about how you perform there. So if there ever was a time to experiment, to see whether Reyna works for Oxy, to throw in some Neon or ISO picks as we head deeper into their map pool, it would be now.
Yep, they got that breathing room. A heavy stack of G2 on a half buy. Doesn't come to fruition, but they're fast to follow all these noise cues.
And it's so similar over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, they just be default.
Take B main control with a lot of their refreshable utility. The Dizzy being used, Recon, Wall, and then they go for the exec, and they take a lot of space when they do.
No, the Dizzy forwards,
Whoa.
immediately broken. Zephyr was out
Yeah,
of position.
and Vanity's in
Nowhere.
such
Still
a strong
Vanity.
pause.
They still
Claims the
don't
space.
expect him.
Yep.
Oh my god,
He's got
how's he
pin as
allowed
well,
to have
so
this
the
much
layering
time
is
to
one
do
deep
all of
across
that?
the site. It's going to be making it hard to pass. Shock darts, long range.
Scanning ahead.
G2 not wasting time getting themselves into this spot here, but rifle in hand, Oxy already chewing them up.
Right, let's see what G2 got for Byron.
1 HP to his name, so very little opportunity in Cloud9.
Yeah, it's relatively unusual for teams to do this.
Next one coming up is going to be
Like a
the important
lot.
one, but again,
Normally it's a lot of A
just the
spams.
amount of wins that
They're
Cloud9
doing
have
like
been
a
able to get on
4-1.
themselves. Zephyr's had this
It's
on
not like
map
the
for about
ones
2
even
rounds,
going to
maybe
aggro
3.
towards
Yeah,
A.
they've still got this thrash
They're
to use
pretty
in the next
passive ones,
pivotal
waiting for a
buy
push,
round.
holding mid, holding
They had
A
it round
push.
3. They could have used it round 5 if they needed to, didn't need to. And look, the way that Jonah P is still getting caught out, and the way that they're not
Silas,
expecting
thank you so
Oxy
much.
to be in
Silas
these kind of
42 with the 10
spots.
months.
I feel like there's still a
same.
little bit of a lack of awareness from G2.
Same.
6
I rather
rounds
hate
in,
them.
the Cloud9 are going to be on site. They're going to be on site, they're going to be deep on site, and they're going to be fighting you. And normally teams are only going to do that when they run a double smokes comp. We see a lot of the Viper Clove or Viper Omen comps go for those kind of
This is actually the
positionings.
change up from G2. This is what the timeout was before that they talked about on the eco,
Just
and
off Oxy's
I
radar.
like this from C9. They know that the adjustment's
is
going to be
not a good
happening on the
start for
buy
G2 in
round.
this round.
Really not.
They actually go over towards A,
See G2 trying to make those
get an
adaptations
early
as well.
pick.
They're set
Question
up-
mark
set up with 3
created. This
players
is a
over
nice
towards
drone
B
though,
main,
so
a
they
high
could
tide
still
ripped
hold strong
across.
over towards
Well,
B. The main
Vanity's
thing
already
that
one step ahead.
the main
Exactly.
thing
All right, well, we've
that
been doing this
G2 changed up
gameplay
is just
over
trying to
and over
make this
again.
a hard choke point,
They're
right?
gonna
I
have
think they have the
an
Viper
adjustment
smoke
for
here
it.
as well.
Go
The Viper
kill
smoke
Icy
one
over
way
on A.
into util. Trying to fight this
They got
crossfire
that
very
opening
heavy.
pickup. Defense is going to be weaker inherently. They have to spread fewer players across the map. Lockdown used by Moose. Lockdown for a lockdown.
I'm not sure that
Yeah, not
defense
choosing to
kill
use the
tray
Sovereign
is
to
great
break it.
though.
Hunter's Fury.
Oh, they're putting a lot into
Trent
this.
might get punished here, surely. Pushed up. No, it's being covered. So Vanity was seeking to at least do that damage. Valen was covering it over the shoulder. Moves. Can't land it. It's a messy spray.
Did it make sense to Sova ult
Onto the
their
high ground
Killjoy
here.
ult? I
30
don't think
seconds
they got
remaining
much
for
from it.
Cloud9. Wall in their face. Running out of options in 3v3. With Vanity going down, don't have the luxury of just waiting for the high tide to go down, put the wall back up, have to offend some of these ults. Thrash going to be used to clear the way. Up across the rope, seeing the barrel. No, did Oxy miss it?
What a shot, he didn't even see him first time.
Snaps to the head, and everything's being met and
Oh
found.
man, Oxy's
With
just got some
overwhelming
mad aim.
firepower.
They're
It's a
getting
Cloud9
run
classic.
down over towards B. Yeah, when I look at
Remember what I
G2
was talking
here,
about
the
earlier, the
Killjoy
difference between
ult
Oxy
didn't give them
on
too much
attack
space,
and
but at
defense
least
the last two
countered them
times
from
that
flooding
these
over
teams met.
towards the site.
On defense,
But
you
then
still
to
find
Sova
huge
ult
amounts of
it,
value.
it
On
actually
attack,
doesn't
G2
change
shut him
anything
down.
at all.
Oxy could not find the entries. Would you believe it watching Icebox? Not a chance. Look at him, he's just wandering around wherever he wants. Finding pigs left, right, and center in very unexpected positions. And that's the value of the Reyna. Because you can walk your way into that spot as other agents, but you're going 1 for 1.
Yeah.
With the Reyna, you get the kill, you're out. Your teammates can cover the retreat.
Now they heavy send it over towards A, when there were 3 people at the beginning from B.
Cloud9. Look at this, against a half-by round, conditioned
that's a nice
heavily
call.
over towards B.
Really nice call.
Now they set their sights over towards A.
Show me the 13-0. I mean,
It's
looking
looking
like it.
so like it, man.
G2 surely going to be able to win rounds here or there. Maybe a Thrifty would be a good one to get them started, but it almost feels like they're out of it already.
Yeah. Oxy's forwards will get taken out. Shot from the Sheriff, but Leaf not expecting it. Look at it, man! Can't fight over the backside control.
Now what do they do?
Yeah,
And does G2 call a second
I'm
timeout?
telling you, Cloud9.
I don't think so. I think they wait.
This when a G2 are just not making those adjustments.
And
Or maybe
Vanity,
just the comp just can't do
Yeah,
it.
this is the round, though.
the comp does struggle with it.
This
too.
is the round right
when
now.
Vanity gets into a rhythm like this, he destroys teams. When he's got a good feel of his team are having success and he knows what adjustments his opponent's going to make, he's always one step ahead. Look how he's predicting the adaptations that Vanity's making, and he's always finding the next layer to it. He's very good at staying in control when he's in control. Does he have some weaknesses with making the adjustments when things are struggling? Yeah, I would say so. But here, no issues whatsoever.
Yeah,
I'm close to hear that as well, and that's an insane pick. That is a official down for defense.
Picks it up himself.
Dude, Oxy is getting so many fast kills.
It just feels like they're in the comms of G2.
Yeah. Pre-fire again, same spot. Moose not able to collect it with the bullets, but again, that opening pickoff surely sets him up nicely. Moose as well is causing all sorts of chaos into mid. Finally traded, cleaned up. Vulnerable though, applied. Jonah P is steady. Can't quite land it, not with the aim. There's too much util just flying forwards.
Spike planted.
Okay, well, they do manage to clean up the one. Oxy just trying to transition back over towards safety with the rest of his team. It is a 2v3.
Maybe Valen here?
Trent manages to find that.
Okay.
Hello, now it's a possibility. Wasn't looking like it prior, but definitely know what his players might be. Rooney, crucial and critical kill. Shot Dart, just pre-fired onto the corner. Trent almost finding it. Damage done to them. Dart, an attempt at the timing, knows where the last player is. No more util, and it all comes down to ring around the rosies. And Trent making all the noise, and Rooney knows it. Toying with
Rooney's done. He's actually given it.
won't allow him.
There's a nice attempt from Trent.
On for the fight.
Ah, beautifully done. 9 in a row. Trent with the consolation ace. I mean, that's got to be one of the most gutting feelings.
Yeah.
You get the
They got to
clip,
win
but at
around.
what
They got so
cost?
many ults now.
Oxy's so ready for that.
Icy is holding for the wide swing, just thinking, well, yeah, why on earth would he shallow swing with an off?
Remaining.
But again, G2 are just one step behind. Oh, that's just so brutal the way that Rooney's toying with Trent there.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of vibes that Cloud9 love. Again, they're a team that loves being in control. Do they maybe, again, have a choking problem when they start to see things spiraling away from them? Maybe, and that's a conversation that we'll revisit once we get to playoffs and the pressure's on. But right now, once more in the regular season, this time in Stage 2, Cloud9 on their map pick are utterly in control. There are no openings for G2 whatsoever.
Yeah. I believe this is the last time out to be used by G2 already in this first half, so
Yeah.
using all of it
Second
already.
timeout? I mean, yeah, the
Adaptations
map's
haven't
pretty
come in
much done.
now.
You
At
gotta
this
get
point,
involved.
It does feel too little too late.
It certainly does, but that's not going to stop them trying, is it?
No, of course not.
Save the timeout and get a third one for Lotus.
It doesn't work like that.
This should
One
be
of
a
the
round.
things that I
I
think
mean, this should be the
G2
easiest
should
round
have a
still.
protocol
Just
for,
don't.
but I'm a bit
Just stop
disappointed
peeking.
They don't seem to.
No
When
one
teams like to
face
take
until
snowman
they get
control
to
like that,
this angle.
holding up
So they're
towards
literally at this
the
angle
spot
here.
in, the top
No
of,
one face over towards
kitchen,
B.
Yeah.
where you're on the kitchen
Let them
looking
use
towards the
util
bridge
to
at
get
the top
past
of
the
B
one way.
nest.
Surely.
You play anti-flash, you can swing out. You've got really nice spots. And instead they keep trying to fight
Salty,
forward.
thank you so much for the prime. Thank you for doing that.
Fighting in nest
Welcome into the
itself.
Slug Club.
These are not good positions, I don't
Oh,
think.
Jonah P got
Goodness, with the
insta
reveal,
tags
almost
from the
punished
recon.
Jonah P with a pit. Started though. Oxy will have to respect this.
G2 have got some great ultimates here to go for some kind of retake strategy.
Yeah, just use them all.
Harbor ult into
Get one on the board.
the Hunter's Fury is pretty fantastic.
Silent jump up. No one's watching Belt for Jonah P.
Right here.
Slight blind spot for him, and he could get overwhelmed quite quickly. Look at how close they are to him. Drone, heard. Surely some Utogos flying
Okay,
forward.
meanwhile, this is going on. We have a fish ult. It moves over towards middle. We had two people send it for him.
And so much unawareness across the board.
Oxy is hitting a lot of shots.
Of course, he's going to take these liberties. This guy.
My guy's going to harbor and get swung on. Oh.
Reckoning, Dizzy, a miss, a rebound here, and a 5-4 is Valen finally with a cleanup. Detainment, it's there with
okay, fish ult getting in too. We wanted to see him use all the ults. They literally use all of them. Rooney has one shock dart, that's it.
2v3. Grouping up together now. Laying this one.
What a shot.
Falling and
Nice
fading
shot.
away. Finally,
okay.
They get one on the board.
Can't repeat it.
Dreams of the 13-0 are dead. This is tragedy. Yeah, it's good ultimates there for G2. They use all three of them though, and that's the only round that they've been able to put
that's
on
the only thing. It's like,
and not only did they have to use the ults, but also Valen had to shut down
every
Oxy.
single
Oxy there had forced a 1v1 that if he wins, that's probably the round again. This kill right here, a massive one for Valen to get, but they've struggled with it in every other round. 9-1. Is there any chance that Cloud9 are going to be worse on the defense side? I just don't think so with Oxy playing Reyna. I think there's so many ways that he can play Reyna and disrespect G2's utility.
Yeah, it feels unlikely.
right back to B, and this is G2's chance to see if they can hold down B in the one way that they really needed missed, and it's not like it's the patch where you can pick up the smoke anymore.
When it rains, it pours.
But a stack of 3 players to meet this.
Just like there.
Might be exactly what G2 ordered. We'll find out. It's a Dizzy and a refight together. Surprised that nobody was really ready for it. But there's going to be the thrash, at least used. Detain, Jonah P, skipping and hopping around. It needs to be defended. This team should have its back. Rooney, precise. One bullet did it.
Yeah, Rooney had shock darts as well that he could have tried to pop into Jonah. I don't think they realized quite how low Jonah P was.
Yeah, I think multiple people did damage, so they don't know. They didn't type it, maybe. Maybe Rooney did the damage.
Going that I really feel like this 2v4 might be winnable for C9. See whether G2 give them anything.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
is that going to be deep enough? Oh, just
look good.
narrowly
It looked close.
Jonah P, 5 HP, one left to stand.
Hey, lovely shots. 2 in a row.
So second round on the board. G2.
Going for that reclear strategy over towards B. I was talking about the fact that with the KO Gecko, then that's a really good strat. I didn't think it would work just with one Dizzy, but the angle that Oxy found was really high up in the air and actually caught Oxy dead to rights, the rest of C9 swinging in to try to punish and couldn't win the duels. So they got value out of it, but it took them so long to try something like that.
Yeah. Surprisingly enough as well with how dominant this has been for Cloud9. Money taking a bit of a tumble as a Spectre purchase for Vanity. Rifles, the Guardian for Rooney. The money is getting a little bit weak now.
Yeah, it's just going to be a retake over towards A. Rooney's going to have his ult.
It's Cloud9's plan. It's going to be a high tide, but will that stop them? Doesn't look likely. Neverlear going to be committed. Data into the back. Lots of spaces where potentially G2 could be anchoring, and they definitely swarmed it with enough players now. And with Oxy shut down, that should open up the floodgates. G2 now surely feeling like they can play this into deeper positions, and again that weapon disadvantage.
It's chaos. There's some low HPs here for the ult though. There's a lot of low HPs. 10, 40, 58. Oh, he's going to kill Wingman, but he's going to get a half.
Look at that, Wingman already getting the half online. C9.
10-2 though. I mean, we've seen some 10-2s.
A tragedy for Leaf. He did what he could.
We've seen some 10-2s that go the other way.
Slaps down G2's hopes.
I don't know, man. C9 look really good in this.
Curses be damned. We're not getting the 9-3.
That looked so set up for it.
It did, but
especially on Icebox. Yeah, that was the FPX game,
to be honest with you. It's just been so dominant for Cloud9.
Really has.
They've barely had chances, G2, and even when they have, some of them have gone awry like this one.
Cloud9 clearly been doing their homework on this map here. I mean, map 1 was a tale of, you know, 2 sides, 2 teams being comfortable on the defensive half of Ascent. We'll find out if that's the case still here onto Icebox, but so far it feels like Cloud9 have just got all the work done for them.
All right, so here we are, 10-2, G2 just getting shellacked on Icebox. It has been a rough one for them, and even
Fancy said on stream that G2's Icebox is not good.
Like, you know, like the coordination, some elements that G2 are typically very
walking the walk.
Great effect, Mel. Not working out for them here. They're getting dismantled by Cloud9.
This is kind of shocking too, the fact that it's coming off of a half where they were on the receiving end of a comeback and it was a really close game, 13-11 they just lost. And for Cloud9 to come out so dominant, it felt like Cloud9 could do no wrong. I feel like they were, like, as Brendan Sideshow put it, in their comms. There's a round where I'm like, okay, Icy's playing up for Beaming with an op, and then he just gets attack opped by Oxy.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that where when you're on the G2 side of things, it really feels like you can't get anything going. I mean, at the end of the half, G2 ended up having like the re-clear with the Molly, but whatever scene I wanted to do, B hit, B default, A hit, anything, everything was working.
They could not find an answer for that B main control. They tried with the op, and it just didn't work because of Oxy, because how good he's been on
How do you feel the Reyna has been here?
Solid so far. I'm excited to see it on the defense, though. I do think this new dismiss is secretly powerful. I think it's honestly being pretty underrated. So I'm looking forward to seeing the kind of positions that he can take now that the dismiss gets you more distance. Just because of how
I think it's a little bit outdated on Haven at the
play
moment.
new positions that, you know,
That's mostly because I would just use it. I just think that Neon's unreal and you should use a breach.
Yeah, I mean, now the question on all of our minds is, how does G2 find their way back into this one? Can they even find their way back into this? It's going to be a difficult climb back to the top here. Cloud9 pretty much on the precipice of being able to force this map 3. Let's send it back over to the casters.
Yeah, not really too much to say, is there? I mean, Cloud9, obviously this pistol round going to be defining whether or not we're heading all the way over to Lotus early, or do you believe in the comeback? I mean, it's...
No.
I don't even want to call it. Yeah, it's just been pure brilliance from Cloud9
Vi
start to
6.
finish. Let's see if it's mirrored on their defensive
Hello, my
half,
name is
starting
pronounced
with
V,
this
like the
I
letter.
feel like Oxy
Okay,
should be even better on
V6.
defense. The way that Reyna works.
Thank you for the heads up. Appreciate the prime.
Running a bait and switch for him.
You
right on
know
the
me
pistol.
very well, it seems.
Vanity and Zeppa here supposed
I
to
got that wrong
distract so
every
that
single
Oxy can get
time for
value.
the other 3 months that you've been subbed, probably.
Holding this up
Okay, let's see if
close
Pistol
and
Kings can be the
personal.
Pistol
Seeking
Kings.
the
It's
fight here with
2-1,
Drone. Think they'll be able to
1-0 on
break
this
in
map.
one. Want to clear out these players, I believe they didn't
Said
spot
it many,
it. Noxy
many
still
times
ready
wrong.
to just start to
Yeah,
pluck
sounds
apart
about
these
right.
players, but the movement is nice and
Ooh.
tricky still.
Oh, he
Shot
gets
is
3.
rattled away. Zeppa.
Hey, V, thank you so much.
Leaf.
Okay, so it brings it down to a 2-on-2 though.
That's a big
The
one.
free
Wants
sight.
to go for the A-lurks, and he's finally going to be rewarded.
And he
at
decides to go
this
heaven.
instance.
Does Rooney
Yeah,
expect
that's
him?
huge. Opens
Heaven.
up the site. Actually gives them an opportunity there.
Ooh. Goes right side, doesn't
Argument to be made
overpeak.
that Moose should have been playing that a little
And he
safer,
has a
but
little pocket that he can
I mean,
hide at the
credit
top here.
to be given to Leaf, and he's got himself into another position, looking to try to win the round out. Basically, right here with this swing.
Yeah, shot out.
Knew he was going to go for the recons, the swings, and alarm bot and then plays together. Leaf's a beast.
Vanity. Lampot alerting his position. Already playing this one so nicely. G2 not willing to really give anything away. About if Vanity can try and catch this timing. Valen is looking in multiple directions. I believe spotted, yes, just ever so slightly. Shots through the box, but Leaf with the wraparound
Yeah,
eventually
big
there.
round for Leaf. Okay, 3-1 for Pistol, and maybe.
So C9 get the first pistol round, and
Maybe.
G2 respond with the other. But are we really going to see G2 run all of the rifle rounds back?
I mean, it's good on a scent.
Certainly doesn't seem likely.
Yeah, it
though.
doesn't seem likely.
I mean, this round as well, remember, Oxy kind of whiffed. The setup worked. Oxy had a timing to be able to peek out, grab one, and he just missed the shot. That's not going to happen that often. His aim is very good. So, G2 getting away with
they're
it
allowed
just a
to
little bit
deaths.
there, and Leaf also doing a great job of being able to open things up on the other side of the map.
Same setup here. Going to be using the wingman. Push the back. I believe spotted Oxy, even though it was broken. G2, they know that the push is coming, man. I mean, they're up against an eco round, and Jonathan's just holding forward at that slightest of off angles.
Good awareness.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things about G2 at Shanghai was that they frequently were finding themselves just getting dominated on one map in a BO3 and then still winning anyway. Usually it was the first one, if memory serves
Yeah, we're gonna
correctly.
have free
that was the
sight.
narrative going around, right? That,
But I think it's a similar kind of thing to this, in the
Orb's
sense
still
that
here as well, right?
it didn't knock them around, right? If you're trying to learn anything from that kind of pattern, it would just be that they're not going to dwell on losses. So even if C9 very cleanly closed this out with like 13-4 scoreline or something, I think G2 are going to be good enough to be able to reset for Lotus.
yeah, I completely agree with that.
On the other side, though, another thing that you could point to is that they weren't able to make comebacks happen because they did get blown out on maps. Like, for example, the 13-1 against T1.
But this is, you
The
know, it's
person
weird
that
to
can
think about it,
hunt
but G2 are one
pretty
of
far
our,
away.
you know, most
Do
experienced,
they allow
you know,
Valen
core
to hunt?
rosters at this point.
Yeah.
I still think of them as, you know, this guard duo that was new to Reykjavik and didn't quite make their mark on an international stage, but the amount of experience they've built up now, just in Tier 2.
Valen's in for keeping the
at
stinger on the
Shanghai, making
bonus.
The deepest run out of all the teams from the Americas.
Absolutely. They've been to 2 international events, placed on the podium in the most recent, and they had the experience to win in Ascension.
Yeah.
They are giving it to Leaf. I mean, Leaf was giving it to Vanity.
Yeah, Leaf was giving it
as
to
well, so,
Vanity.
you know, it's all
Messy
Getting them
breakup.
back.
it's brutal when that kind of stuff happens. The children have to split their time.
The
They
poor Oxy.
spend the weekends with Leaf.
Yeah.
That's a long-range duel.
Yeah, okay.
But Rifle's back online. If there's any hope of a comeback happening, it would have to start here.
Bonus round conversion. Do you start believing?
No. No.
Damn,
I mean,
not even- not
I-
even with a
ask me
bonus.
again
I'm gonna
5
keep,
rounds from
yeah,
now.
I'll keep trying to pull it out of you.
Yeah, no. But I think it's less to do with what the scoreline actually is and more if it looks like G2 have got a really good idea of what to do on their attack side. This composition's got really big ultimates to play around, but they're not going to be active all the time, so it's, you know, difficult to get that old cycle working for you.
Yeah.
Like this though. They got no duelist, nothing to
High-tide
get
across
past
to the
this and
drone.
make this hard choke point.
Interesting
And
pathing.
Zeppa's
Does
kind of
score quite
doing what
good.
I wanted to see G2 do.
Zeppa's going to be forced out of position here from this.
Just,
Look at the spam and the
play
damage.
harder
No
over
bullets going to be
towards back
tagging and
yellow,
slowing
make
them
them
down.
use
Vanity
loads of util.
just trying to provide that covering fire.
Meanwhile, Oxy glued to his
Yeah,
position.
and
in
they kind of
mid.
just got to wait for the
And
second
he
wave.
is not giving them an opportunity to go back over towards A, but it also means that he might be out of this round completely.
Are they relying on Leaf to potentially get something done? I don't want to go for the committal, but it does reveal his position there with a nanoswarm being thrown.
Yeah,
I mean, Oxy has this, right?
Oxy, yeah, on point. Timing was kind of given essentially to him here, and now Cloud9 can stack this one freely, knowing that Leaf has been
And Vanity.
caught out of the mix, out of the picture. Vanity inside that cove, make sure that he just really asserts himself in that
All he
position.
doesn't reach
Cloud9,
wingman, so they get the plant, but
overwhelming him now.
2v4, 2v5?
They've got all the weaponry
2v4 now?
available. So Cloud still here for G2.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of
big
about
extension into the round
damage.
with Jonah P.
This
He's
Jonah
not
P has
forward
one of those
angle still.
rounds.
He's going to have to take a few more risks, I think, to make this one possible. Leah in his face. Blinded. Oh, they lined
Oh,
up!
no.
Jonah P! Surely don't do this to them. The professor at work. Score might be in session, but
He's
still
fit.
it's a 1v2. It's a lot to overcome. Just the foots peeking out over the edge, dropping down.
Okay,
Moose.
dude, actually thought he might do it. Good damage though, really
Barely any
good
time to
damage.
reset his
It
aim. He
actually
still
does matter.
hits the shot.
Great effort from Jonah P, who was fantastic throughout Shanghai, especially at the beginning of that event. But too little, too late, and C9 still overcome. Oxy does such a great job there of not, you know, overthinking things and not so much overthinking, but rotating to want to be part of the action, I think, is a very common flaw of duelists. Oh, I've got to go where they're going. And instead, just holds his time, super patient, rewarded for that patience. And allows his team to focus on the B hit when it comes through. And good awareness from Vanity as well, gets inside the cove, dominates that space so that Valen can't make a play.
Revealing area.
Again, just showcasing that C9 are so far ahead of what G2 are doing.
Is ready.
They
Yeah,
know
I
that
mean,
Leaf loves
they've been in
to lurk
control the whole
out.
time.
Look, yeah, alone.
It's just
He's
nice as
always
well.
aggressive on that side of the
Traction
map.
over towards the floor as
This
well with
time
the picking up
punished.
of the orb.
Heavy
Insta
presence
so
for all those
this
players.
is
Rooney
the
got
one,
floating
man.
a Hunter's Fury.
This-
Unorthodox in the position,
I
but
can't
guess
remember
when
the team that
the
used to do this
entirety
all
of
the
it is
time when they had a
afforded to you,
Sova
can do
ult,
it.
push
And they've just got
aggro
the
here,
lead.
and
I
if
mean,
they
when
weren't
Leaf
here,
is
they
that
would
far forward on his
reactively
own,
just
they know
ult
that
down
it's
this lane.
everybody else over towards B.
Yeah, it's so
And
strong.
so, yeah,
It was someone in
Vanity's just got an
Pacific that used to
internal
do it.
map of exactly where the G2 players are positioned.
It's such a
Too easy for them at the moment.
such a strong ult.
G2 are going to be forced to slow this one into the mid round.
C9 just have so many people here.
Finally some fuel left in the chamber, so Jonah P can get that wall up now for the plan. Okay, an exchange there with the mollies. Mosh pit down and around. A lot of spam and a lot of bullets exchanged, but Jonah P spotted. Going for the aggressive angle and play.
Yeah, and Moose holding
Rooney
in a spot
has
that G2 were
shock.
trying to make work, but G2 were
Shock,
getting pushed
recon.
by Arena. Moose doesn't have to worry about that.
Cascade there. A lot of damage onto these players.
Okay, Valen's the only one that can do something here, really.
That wingman, I see, gets it, but half onto the defuse is being defended almost fully, entirely. 12th round.
Yeah, they're annihilated on this map, holy.
To it. One more step is all they need to take to get
8 chances
to
for them to do it.
This is looking dangerous for any future opponents of Cloud9. Icebox looks
There's a mid version. Yeah, there's a couple of versions.
They've got solid ideas, good understanding
go
of what
here,
their
you talk
opponents
about
are going
this
to try to do. I'd like to see them go up against a team with a more like fresh
Sasha?
comms.
I don't think so.
G2's needs adjusting. And they
Could've
tried to
been.
do that in the middle of Masters, but they just didn't find anything they really liked.
Yeah.
They tried running the Sage for a bit, and they're like, nah, it doesn't really work.
And G2 are just facing that reality that comes with, you know, you play at these international events, guess what? Cloud9 weren't spending 2 months just twiddling their thumbs, but
There's
we might
so
see
many people dueling here that they might not think
just
Step
here
is up.
and now he's one way position.
Yeah, at least
one
he's got his
turns
knife
on
out.
Zephyr, tagged up by the drone, still just oscillating.
Oh, it was a nice tag.
It's G2.
It's sure
Okay,
okay,
that
man.
position,
You're
still
gonna win
here,
this
just
one.
trying to dodge and juke away, but you can escape it. Thrash hunting just down the IGL with Vanity falling. It's a gap in the smoke, not enough for Rooney to play around. Everybody falls.
Thanks, little man.
Moose forced to save here. There's really no chance in hell that he's going to go for it.
Nah, I mean, there's no shot whatsoever. Zephyr's also only got 200 credits, so saving a weapon here is useful. Vanity was scrambling in that spot. He's giggling as he got caught by the Thrash. He's recon darted Thrash, desperately trying to backpedal in that situation. But some important duels there, won by G2. They were holding, ready for C9 to go for the swings, punishing them. It's going to be important, but it would have to be, you know, another 7 in a row.
Yeah, you don't believe yet, do you?
No,
I don't need to ask the question yet?
No, you don't need to ask the question
Okay.
whatsoever.
Okay.
But
Wait a little bit.
no, you don't have to wait. You don't, I'll give you the answer in perfect.
I'll wait a little
So
bit. I know the
G2,
right
they
time.
still have some ults. They can get
When
they
it's a
can
real
get a
comeback,
couple of
they'll
rounds.
come back.
They can get a little bit closer. Got Harbor to get over towards site,
Yeah, just
Biport to
trying
win
to
off.
fight this one up close and personal here from Cloud9. Even without a Thrash being used, the Thrash was just a cherry on top. They were just getting dominated by the util that G2 had available to them.
But C9 have the opportunity to take those kind of risks because they were at 12-4.
Yeah.
They've got 8 chances, now down to 7. Write it on the screen. But they've got so many opportunities to take risks, and eventually one will probably pay off.
Ball pass
And they
and
can
walk.
especially take risks on
Eco in
maps
because
like
they got
this.
all the rounds. Open
why
it,
not
use a
roll the
Harbor
mid-way?
ult. There's the Harbor ult. Didn't make the sound,
Sweeping
so they
through
know
with a
no one's
reckoning.
on site.
No golden beams of light pointing towards any player, so they know the site is entirely cleared out. They will be able to save some util for the post. Leave with the plan. Not being pushed back in time. It's a fast flip by Cloud9. They want to try and play into this one. There's a Viper's Pit. Lay it down with a lockdown. This will be broken. I believe there's an angle if they do manage to get themselves.
Yeah, if you're C9 right now, you're laughing.
This is a
He echoed to try and make sure that they used a lot of ults, and they used every ult. This is sick, man.
They just don't know.
They're not going to think he's here.
Yeah, they won't think he's here at all.
There's no way, Zephyr. Just, oh my goodness. Survives the entire time and damage them. The Valor means he was a softened up target. Already through and around Vanity.
What are you doing?
Forcing it through with a Thrash. He's right above them. None the wiser. Detained up. Right
I can't believe this is the round they won. That is insane from Zephyr.
Okay.
Oh, that's simply amazing stuff.
That's such a sick way to do it.
Eventually the risk pays off, and we did not have to wait long. What a glorious ending to Icebox. Disrespectful in nature.
Yeah, it actually was
And I think
disrespectful.
just the cherry on the cake of an absolutely dominant map pick for Cloud9. Their Icebox